Late Night Grin. Also, what does that name mean?
Good evening, folks. I hope you are well. Welcome. Another edition, Late Night Grim. 146, fellas. Just feels like yesterday we were doing 100. Remember that? All 10 of us on there playing Dax Harwood clips and such. Almost at 150. We're fired up. It's obviously a big weekend for wrestling. The Royal Rumble ahead of us. This is probably the show most suited to pay-per-view previews, right? So many possibilities, so many options, much to get into. Expert panel as always, the Oracle of Wrestling. How are you this evening?
I'm good. I missed most of SmackDown and proceeded to watch the clips on social media, and I figured this is quite the nice way to catch up on a wrestling show without having to sit there for 3 hours and watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm learning things.
You are every day, bro. You get better every day. Still adding strings to your bow. You're like Chris Jericho, he's evolving. All right, Jack Crosby, how are you this evening, brother?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Wonderful, mate. I'm wonderful. Glad to have you on as always. Lots to discuss tonight. Always great to have Jackie Crosby in the building. Bobby, how are you?
Doing well. Looking forward to previewing the Royal Rumble.
You're in form as well, right? Last night, full sail behind you, had to do some solos. Had to do some monologues while my internet dropped out. Yeah, I hope you're ready to do it tonight if it happens again, right? You got to be locked in.
You got it.
Appreciate you, Bobby. Chris, how are you this evening, brother?
I'm all right. It's been a day. I had to take a little man into urgent care because he had an ear infection. So, yeah, he'll be all right though.
Never great.
Now, and I have to perform a at-home sleep test when we get done here. So I haven't had caffeine since like 12:30. So,
oh my,
this will be fun.
Buddy, you going for the sleep apnea?
Yeah, I was gonna find out and see if I do.
My guy, I just had to do that. Listen,
hey,
you're gonna do the at-home test.
Yes,
it's probably they're gonna say inconclusive.
Hope
you're
not.
Gonna have to go sleep in one of those places. Joe remembers.
I do. I remember some incredible images coming my way.
It's a scam. You're gonna throw it away. They gave you the one to throw in the garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're gonna do that.
Oh no, I got to take it back. I got to take it back to him.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine was thrown in the garbage.
Yeah. No, I got to take the unit back tomorrow. Tomorrow morning. So
I had to go sleep at one of those places for a night, and that was not fun.
Yeah, I'm trying to avoid that. So hopefully,
it didn't look fun. No, it didn't look fun.
No, it didn't. Joe did it.
I mean, it was fun for me, but for you, it looked pretty unfortunate. But all the best, Chris.
This is what all the rest of you three you have to look forward to here as you advance.
Yeah, well, probably true. Yes, agreed. Folks, obviously, this program, for some reason, is called the Late Night Grin. It almost got us in a lawsuit a couple of weeks ago. And we do intend to entertain you tonight, make you laugh occasionally, perhaps. Maybe even predict some wrestling matches along the way. But I do want to note before we get started here that in the last, I believe, hour or so, there has been more information as to the Janelle Grant case and allegations. I have not had a chance to read everything. I have read a lot of it. It has confirmed many assumptions as to how deep that system, how deeply rotten that system truly is. And I don't know the correct way to handle this. We're about to transition from this to a pay-per-view preview. And if you think that's fucking stupid, I agree with you. If I knew the answer on what the correct way to handle this is, I'd be doing it right now. I don't know. unfortunately, this show was ready to go, and I feel like we're going to proceed with the show and do the show to the best of our ability. Again, if that seems ridiculous, considering there's much more important things in professional wrestling, let alone beyond that, to worry about than who's going to be tossed most over the top rope in the Rumble, I get it, but I did not want to ignore it. I thought it'd be ridiculous to ignore it, to be honest with you. I think we do have to continue to be realistic about where the industry is at and where that promotion in particular is at in terms of how deeply rooted the abuse is. And I think I would like to see action. I think we would all like to see action. I'm not confident of that action, but I'm not going to just ignore it completely because I think that would be fucking absurd. So we're going to move on to the show in a second, and we're going to try and talk about it as a wrestling show. And again, I agree that's fucking stupid, but we're trying our best here, right? I don't know what the best way to handle it is. So I hope that works for you all. Obviously, every victim of the system that's been built there, with Royal Grant, of course, being the sort of central piece of this story, we wish them all the best, and we hope, and it is hope, that professional wrestling and WWE in particular can maybe finally deal with some of this stuff properly. I guess that's the point of this whole thing. Okay. And with that, there is no good way to transition, so I'll simply say thank you to Big Daddy Cole for becoming a member. We appreciate you very, very much. Al Ace rejoined also. And Bobby, you got any great pronunciation tips on this surname? It looks like a wonderful name that I would butcher. I feel like this is your sort of domain, Bobby.
Desjardins.
Oh, baby. Beautiful.
Yeah,
I wonder if Robbie's name is actually it sounds a lot less cool than that. You just done him a favor. I don't know. But he's a member regardless. So we appreciate him very, very much. Thank you to our 3 new members or returning members. I know I'm one of those cases. Lord Lambo has been a member for 5 months and says, "Oh, how? Question for the esteemed panel. Who should have won a Royal Rumble that never did?"
Brian.
Good question. Brian Danielson.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Brian.
Pretty good answer, dude. Right off the cuff.
Brian.
Yeah. He has 3 could win too. Good answer. Any others, Oracle, kind of one potential Rumble winners that could have been?
No, not really.
Fair.
Maybe Ambrose. Maybe, perhaps.
Wow, that was very nice of you. You threw him a bone there.
That's
I like
a
it. Yeah.
I mean, the only other one I could think of might have a chance to win one tomorrow. So
yeah,
I think there's some options there. Go. Thank you.
You know a better way to frame that question, which could actually be maybe a different show, and maybe we bank this for next year. Pre-1993, when 93 was when the thing was when it was enacted that you get the shot at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Pre-93, look at those Rumbles and who could have won.
That would be fun. Yeah, like almost doing rebooking Road to WrestleManias almost. That's pretty sick. Yeah, that's interesting. I like that a lot. Jackie. We'll keep that in our back pocket. That'll be something we get to in 2028 or something, right? We're going to finally. Riley sent the super chat and said Crosby, how was playing Bones with Mark, Bobby, and Terry? Planning to bring it to LNG Gaming. Excited for Rumble. How? Jack, any comment on these questions here, my friend Riley?
What does that even mean?
I don't know, man. I assumed it was like a political commentary of some kind. Bob?
I don't know.
You wouldn't, Bobby. All right. Thank you, Riley. We'll circle back. The King Ellie Show. My Rumble picks are Roman and EO. I think we're going to have some agreements on those. And I'm not sure we're going to get any big Roman picks. We'll find out. Listen, a big Roman pick is never a bad pick, right? There's always room to pick Roman Reigns. I mean, it's boded pretty well in the last few years.
It's so hard. I don't see him winning.
No. But I mean, Jack, if you were a betting man, not that you are, of course, and you was to put money on Roman Reigns every match for the last 4 years, you'd have a new house, you'd be.
Well, yeah.
Thank you, bro. I hope you enjoy the show. Jake, in honor of traveling to Lucas Oil Stadium tomorrow, I feel like Bing Bong with spooky prices. Who is your favorite Colt? Is this baseball talk?
Football.
Fuck, jeez, so close yet so far.
Reggie Wayne would probably be mine. I like Reggie Wayne.
Yeah, I was like Bob Sanders. He just lit the shit out of people. It was great. Peyton was fine, but then they beat the Bears in the Super Bowl. I didn't like Peyton as much anymore.
It's fine.
fair.
Edgerrin James.
Okay, yeah.
I feel like you're making up names now. Chris, any strong read on this?
Peyton, I guess.
Wow. Peyton Royce, huh? Very interesting. Thank you, Jake. Jay Chili has been a member for 4 months. We hope you've enjoyed LNG Gold thus far, brother. He says Punk is winning tomorrow after tonight. I am convinced. He's stamping it in. He's locking it in. I'm not sure we're also convinced, but we will let it play out. We'll get to that probably as our main event here this evening. But it's going to be very intriguing. Thank you for being a supporter, brother. Young Blink, member for 5 months, says EO Sky or bust. Feels like a dangerous game to play, huh? With the Queen lurking. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. There may be some busting going on there, but all right. Thank you, Young Blink. I hope you've enjoyed LNG Gold thus far. Okay. With that, we have a lot of business to handle tonight because granted we only have 4 matches, but we have to do this properly, right? We have to preview these pay-per-views or these matches on this PLE, I should say, Bob, right? With we need to examine these Rumble matches. I mean, there's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of roles to play in a Rumble, and that's going to be our plan tonight. That will take up much of the program. So let's start. Would you like to start with the Women's Rumble or the Men's Rumble? Boys? What would you like to start with? Any preference? Should we let Bobby pick?
Let's, well, yeah, Bobby, go ahead.
Bobby, look at Bobby's green.
Yeah, let's start with the women.
All right. No, it works for me. Let's do it. So I want to kind of work through this piece by piece. I think that's what makes sense with a 4-match card. I think that's probably the logical approach. So, with that in mind, the first thing I'm going to ask each of you, and we'll go around the room on this, is the build. And I think it's fair to say, even as someone who doesn't watch closely, they're going to be very different answers in terms of the men's build and the women's build as to how efficient and effective they have been. Because from the outside looking in, it has certainly looked like one of them has been one of the most extensive builds in Rumble history, and the other has been, there's a Rumble coming up. So, let's talk about, Oracle, I'll start with you. Firstly, just the build itself. What have you made of the build to the Women's Royal Rumble?
What build?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Women's Royal Rumble tomorrow. I wasn't aware.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I'm like
It's
Joe,
crazy.
outside looking in, like they haven't done shit.
Yeah. Pretty bad, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, fair enough. Is that your full statement?
There's one obvious winner.
So you're
We'll,
just
we'll
saying-
cover
you're
that
looking-
when we get to it.
Yeah.
But to me, it just seems like the most build has been to look at bad Charlotte Flair vignettes. So I mean, that's couple Nia Jax promos, I guess. That's about it.
They're always good ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many women have they announced? Do we know? Any number on that?
14. I just looked it up about 20
Did
minutes.
they? When did they get to 14?
I'll read them to you. Hold on. Give me a second.
They must have added a bunch tonight because, yeah, it was at like 7 or 8.
Naomi, Bianca, Nia,
Liv and Raquel probably.
Liv and Raquel, yeah.
Circle Wrestling is pulling up his format here.
Nia Jax, Bayley, Charlotte
Yep.
Flair, Naomi, Bianca Belair, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Lyra Valkyria, Ivy Nile, Io Sky, Chelsea Green, Selena Vega, Candice LeRae, Piper Niven. What a field.
Jack, it's time for the Candice LeRae victory, brother. Iron Woman, 1-30. Let's go.
No. When I give my prediction, I don't think you're going to shit yourself, but I think it's what they should do.
All right, we'll leave that as the main event for this particular segment. Okay. Oracle, is that your full statement on the build, just to be clear?
Yeah.
Respect. Respect. Jack Crosby, anything you'd like to add in terms of the build itself?
It sucked. I am so offended because I was in attendance for the first Women's Royal Rumble, which main evented in Philadelphia.
Wow. You were there. Were you in gorilla position? Yeah.
Huh?
Were you in gorilla position? Signaling to Mina through the curtain, You know what I forgot? Someone this week posted a clip of the first Rumble, and I forgot that they sat Charlotte and Alexa just like at ringside awkwardly.
Yeah.
They just sat there the whole match.
Only because they wanted Ronda Rousey to go out there and fucking
point. All right, she pointed at the sign. All right, there you go. Bobby, I know you're big on the evolution of the women's division. You've been telling me a lot about recently. What have you made of this build? It seems to have been a very extensive piece of business.
Yeah, it's been pretty underwhelming, like Oracle said. And like, I mean, they feature the women plenty. They've just all kind of been focused on other stuff instead of the Rumble, where the men have kind of all made the Rumble their singular focus. And like, I know it's weird. I know, like, obviously you can't do much with Charlotte except the vignettes, and she's a heavy favorite in it. You know, you assume Becky might be back, and she's always a favorite when she's there, so you can't do that. But still, I mean, you got to do a little bit more.
Yeah, I think that conclusion, I think, actually goes for a lot of the division's issues in the last year or so. You got to do a bit more. I think that's a good call. Chris, what have you made? Anything to add? Because I think it seems to be pretty much unanimous.
I would just say that I wouldn't even say that it sucks, because that would mean that they put effort into it, and they just haven't. So it's been basically hey, Naomi and Bianca, it's every woman for themselves in the Royal Rumble, right? What are you gonna do? You're tag team champions. And then everyone else has been, like Bob said, focused on other things. Like Nia declared for the Rumble, but also was facing Rhea at Saturday's main event, and it's just bunch of stuff going on except for the main thing.
You know what it almost seemed like to me in a way, like in the past month and a half, let's say, it's almost like they're saying, like, not like on purpose, but it's like, all right, you got your women's US title, you got your women's intercontinental title, you can't have your cake and eat it too. Like, we focused on that, you got your little tournament, you got everything, like, so, and then here's the women's Rumble.
Yeah, I don't know what the situation is with this. The titles, neither champion is on the show, right? Which, like, I get it. You need the talent to be in the Rumble, but
there appears to be more effort put into the 2 out of 3 falls tag title match than this, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a stretch, but it appears that way.
I just hope it doesn't reflect upon. I hope the heat isn't terrible for this as a result. Because I think there is a chance that, like, the lack of. I think there's a chance there's a stretch in this Rumble where there is not a great deal of star power on display, and the crowd kind of loses its way.
I mean, look, the list of names I read off were, there's stars in there, but I mean, it's not.
Yeah. Let's kind of dissect this and look at some of the different roles in the match. So the first one I wanted to ask you guys about was, who do we think will be, and it could be a couple names, the Iron Woman in this deal, right? The grappler that's in there for the longest. You can name a couple names, because there could be a few people that are tied and connected, because that has happened in the past. Who immediately comes to mind? I'll start with you, Bobby. Who will be kind of someone who you think is going to last the longest in this Rumble?
Yeah, I think I'm going to go with Becky, and it's mostly because I think she's going to come out one of the first two, because if it opens the show, that's a way to really get things going with a bang. And, I don't anticipate her not being in there towards, the Final Four, just because of who she is and how long she's been gone and all that. So I'm going to go with Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch. That's an interesting pick. I think she's going to be saved until pretty late in the Rumble. That's intriguing. Chris, who are you thinking for sort of glue of this thing? Who's going to be in there the longest?
I don't know, maybe Lyra. I could see that as the new Intercontinental Champion. Having her have a good lengthy showing in there. Could be Bianca again. She's done that a couple different times. But yeah, someone like that, or EO even. Any of the I would say any of the ladies that we know can put good stuff in the ring. I could see being in there to hold that thing down for quite a while. So
I'm leaning EO. I think EO is going to be in one of the first couple entrants, and they're just going to be in there until the final four. More on that in a moment. Jackie, who are you thinking for the Iron Woman here?
Roxanne.
That would be a great spot for her, yeah.
Yeah.
Great spot for her. Absolutely, I agree. She could work with a bunch of different talent. She could give it a freshness. She could make an impression. That's a great call. I like that a lot. And maybe you give her like a couple signature eliminations too that she can kind of hold up people's head. I like that a lot. Oracle, what are you thinking, brother?
I'm very confident. Well, not very. I wouldn't say very confident, but I'm confident. EO is a really good choice. I think it very well might be her. Yeah. I think she's going to last like 50 minutes or something. I think she's going to be in there a long time.
Yeah, I tend to agree.
I don't think she's winning, but I think she's going to be in the Final Four and last.
Well,
over 45 minutes. That's my.
With that in mind, let's talk Final Four. We'll go one by one here, but I think there's obviously going to be a lot of overlap. Oracle, I'll stick with you. You got EO. Who else? Who do you think's line this up for me? Who's the Final Four?
Final Four will be EO, Charlotte, Becky, Bianca.
Damn, we're very close. I think Nia in there rather than Bianca. I think is going to handle some business elsewhere. Maybe with a returning Jade Cargill. Maybe. I don't know. I think Jordan Grace, an interesting pick. I see Liv Morgan in the chat. Bobby, Final Four. What are you thinking?
Becky, Charlotte, Nia, and I could see EO. I could see. Yeah, I'll go with EO.
Okay, Chris. What do you reckon?
Becky, Charlotte, EO, and Jordan.
Very confident. Very, very confident. Jackie, you got any wild cards for us, or are you the similar line of thinking?
EO, Charlotte, Bianca, and Jordan.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Last one before we get to the winner. Who will have? Now, this is actually a more interesting question with the women because I think with the men, there's a very likely favorite for this. Who will have the most eliminations in tomorrow's Women's Royal Rumble match? Jack, I'll start with you.
EO.
Wow. That'd be big. Very big. I think I'm leaning Jordan Grace. Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, that's who I was going to say too. Yeah.
Bobby?
I was going to say Nia, but yeah, Jordan Grace, that'd be a really good spot to do that. I'll go with Nia just to be different, though.
Appreciate it, Bob. Ever a sportsman. Oracle, who you got most eliminations?
It's between those two. I think Nia will have pivotal eliminations.
It's fair.
But I think Jordan might edge her by a couple. So I'm going to go with Jordan.
Yeah. Jordan does feel like a good pick. You got to think, last year she was a TNA representative, and she got
Jordan will eliminate somebody relatively big in the mid-card or more, but she'll mostly come in and clean house, get rid of the Zelinas and whatnot. No offense to the, Zelinas and Candices of the world.
Hey, Jack's here. Have some respect. I like it. Okay, now it's time. Let's take our pick here. Let's see what happens. The winner of the Women's Royal Rumble will be who? Chris Borderline.
Well, so it's probably going to be Charlotte. I would just shoot the moon, and I would have Jordan win. Is what I would do.
I don't think
that's the one thing. That's the one thing that they've never done with the Rumble.
I'm with Chris. Yep. I think Jordan should win.
That would be huge. Could you imagine?
I used to be an advocate when NXT Black and Gold was hot in the mid 2010s of one of the ways you can call it, if you have a hot NXT star, just have him fucking win the Rumble. And the funny part is Jordan's not a hot, but she's coming. Just have her win. What's the harm?
Yep.
Yeah.
There's no downside.
Mm-hmm.
It would be a nice sort of. It would shock people in a way where they'd realize, sometimes just crazy shit's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to be caught. That would be nice.
If you didn't care enough to build this Rumble up, then just try shit. Have Jordan win.
Be interesting. Very, very interesting. I don't think it's a likely pick, but I think it's a very interesting pick. Oracle, who you got for the Rumble?
So Charlotte's winning it.
Yeah.
But I will say that no. Well, give me a second. I like the idea of Jordan winning. I think that's a good should. I want EO to win.
Well, I'm in this same spot as you. I'm rooting for EO. I've got Charlotte to win. That's where I'll stand. Bobby, what are you thinking, bro? Are you in on this Jordan Grace pick?
No, I think it's a good idea, but it's got to be Charlotte. It doesn't have to be Charlotte, but she's clearly going to be in the WrestleMania title match, and it doesn't seem like she's going to win the Elimination Chamber. just coming back from injury and all that. So, yeah, I think it's going to be Charlotte. But she does have a new Top Girl presentation with Flair and her family history and such.
Yes.
So.
Never seen that before.
Yeah,
no,
never.
and she's winning a belt soon too.
Yeah, so.
Never seen.
Very interesting. I mean, I can't even imagine what it'll look like. You know, it's like a sort of reinvention we've never seen. I'm very excited. Yeah, I think Charlotte's winning. I'm pretty confident. I'm not really. I don't think it's very interesting. I also think well, I think the match will be good. I was saying this to the guys off air. I think it was off air. I think the match will be good, but I think the build to her and Tiffany could be a roller coaster. I think.
I think Bianca's winning.
My God. So your pick is actually Bianca Belair.
How
So
many
you got
Rumbles-
Bianca to
how
go
many
for Rhea?
Rumbles in the past 5 years has Bianca been right there?
So you got her winning to face Rhea, Jackie?
Yeah, and the story is there with Rhea from the Rumble in
21?
21.
Yeah, 2021.
God, that's 4 years ago. Good God, Jackie, we're getting old. We were doing the distraction then.
Yeah, no
Jesus.
shit, right? No, I think I really think Bianca's going to win this.
Got you, son. My bad, because Jordan was your like
Should.
this is what they should do. Yeah, my bad. All right, appreciate it. Last thing, and we'll get to some business in the chat. What surprises are we expecting? There's been a lot of chatter about surprises in this match. A lot of people.
AJ.
That's what a lot of people are starting to actually. I
think we're definitely.
You think it's happening?
I think it's happening.
The way I don't know if anyone caught Punk on McAfee's show today, but the way that they talked about the whole thing, I'll be shocked if she's not in it.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Joe, I don't know if you saw it. Chris,
they were basically like daring Punk to be like, okay, she's going to be in the Rumble. Like
it was on purpose, like the way they were pushing it.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't see this. I was thinking it's very unlikely.
And definitely Nikki Bella.
Oh,
Nikki's
there
gonna
we
be
go.
in there,
Yeah.
Nikki will be in there. AJ Lee and Nikki Bella. Oh my God.
Who else saw?
Masha would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who else from TNA could you do really? Just pretty much Masha, right? He's not really. I mean, obviously there's another name that I think they're probably trying to. I mean, I don't know. Nikki Bella. You guys think AJ Lee? I do not. But
I don't know about AJ. Maybe.
Yeah. Masha. I think Jade comes back.
Julia's probably going to. What? Julia or Stephanie, one of them, both maybe?
I think a lot of the NXT women are going to make it, yeah.
Roxanne will be, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the NXT women, there's going to be quite a few in there.
Jade probably will be in there.
Yeah.
Any others? Because I know Trish was linked with. Do we think Trish is going to be in there? There's not really a ton of buzz.
She's in town. I think Trish might be in it, actually.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of our broad. So if they have 14 names and there's going to be a few extra main roster people, right? And then you got some NXT. You're getting close. There are a lot of candidates in NXT too that could easily get a spot. And like someone in our chat said earlier, I was doing the whole house show. Someone could have a Tiffany Stratton kind of deal where the Rumble is like kind of their call up. Because let's be honest, there's a lot of people ready to get called up, right? I mean,
I think that's Roxanne's call up, right?
I don't know what the deal is with that because it seems like the Bailey program is like an NXT thing right now. So I'm not sure. It'll be very, very interesting. Any other surprises to note before we handle some business in our wonderful live chat? Okay.
Do you think they'll do like a legend that's not like AJ Lee or Nikki Bella, like a Attitude Era / Ruthless Aggression legend?
It'd be cool to do like Victoria again.
I was going to say Victoria was in the crowd a couple weeks ago.
Yeah. Mickey James could be in it, I think. She's part of the company again.
Jazz.
Yeah. Hopefully we get some.
Maria Kanellis. I'm joking. I'm joking.
Listen, anything's possible. And more Eagles propaganda from Andrew says my pick is EO Sky, please. Any comments on the Eagles before we proceed?
Go Birds.
There you go. Support from Jackie there. Thank
Who
you.
could
Andrew.
possibly care?
Andy, best men's Rumble build ever. Lots of permutations. and narratives built over a long time. Let's Go Punk and Flag was fire. We'll obviously get into this in more detail later, but it has been a very well built Rumble. Oracle is shaking his head. Is that the Eagles or the build part?
Yeah, I'm a Cowboys fan. Fuck
Oh,
you.
okay, cool. Yeah, but the build's been really good, hasn't it? We'll get into that later. Yeah, we'll get into it later.
This might be the best build I can remember in a long time.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah, it's been very, very good. Very, very good. Thank you, Andy. Chi-Town Spurs looking forward to this new Top Girl Flair direction.
I can't with this. I'm sorry.
Okay, Jack, you're an editor. Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Why did WrestleVote spell Flair that way?
Because man. Well, did WrestleVote spell it, or the person from WWE PR that it spelled that way? I don't want to make the accusations in the wrong place.
But he did quote Flair, like he did, but he did it like we needed the pun explained to us. But he could just
know what the fuck he's doing. God bless.
What was your theory on this?
Yeah, again, like that's not. It's two different words because like Flair the other way is like the way they mean it. Flair the way they have it is like fire flare gun or whatever.
Like literally a flare gun.
Maybe she has a flare gun.
I told Bob, I don't want to take up too much. I think, you know what, the funny thing about these reports, and we're all getting our jokes off, and rightfully so. You know what I think the reports might be accurate, and if they are, I told Bob the other day, it's like Charlotte watched Roman Reigns' run and was telling Triple H, I want that.
My God, that could be.
That's what I want.
Fucking hell.
No, I'm dead serious. Like if all these reports we're seeing about different Charlotte and Top Girl, I think she wants to be fucking the female Roman and like take the title from Tiffany and run with that shit for like the next fucking 4 years.
Joe just pulled up a tab to start selling us tickets right now. He did it.
Yeah. I got enough stuff to worry about, bro. Thank you, Chi-Town Spurs. I hope you're well, boss. The King Ellie show says the last two women's rumbles were better than the men. 2023, I thought both were good.
Yeah.
Last year they definitely had the better rumble because I remember the men's rumble.
Yeah, last year I remember it was definitely better.
The men's rumble was fucking really boring last year.
It
right?
was
so boring. Tampa crowd was awful too.
But that's the other thing. I mean, we'll just do this here because it's an interesting, just kind of conversation. Like Triple H, so that means Triple H's Rumble hit rate is not too bad. But I do think his approach thus far has been pretty dry. I would describe his Rumbles as thus far, even though I wouldn't say that. Obviously only one of them I'd say is bad outright. They're both, they're all very by the book. They're solid. It's very much how we would describe him generally, right? But I don't think he's shown a great handle on like the little set pieces that make a Rumble special, the little moments. Yeah. Chris, we've talked about this before, right? Like kind of the flair of the Rumble, spelt without not the WrestleVotes way. What do you make of that kind of element going into this year's Rumble?
I think I mentioned. I can't remember if I mentioned it on the flagship Grin or in the on the watch along last weekend, but it's the modern, especially the men's Rumbles, because the roster is so stacked, like that you don't have as much in the way of surprises anymore, and that kind of takes, for me at least, it takes a lot of some of the steam out of the match, because it's like that's part of why I love the Rumble, is because you never knew, like 2008, and you got Piper and unfortunately Snuka in the ring, in the garden, stuff like that, like so yeah, I mean, that for me, that's what it is they've got, so just the talent is you don't need to bring these outside people in, and so it's just kind of like, oh, okay, so it's just the people I see every week,
right? And the problem with that is, even if they're great talent, that most of them have no chance of winning. So it's like,
well, I actually will say this: they have a lot of, like, part of it is these guys have been in the company for so long, and I'm looking at the men's names, and we'll run through them when we get to that match. But I'm looking at it here, and there's, there's like 12 or 13 names right here that you could theoretically say could win it. Now, I mean, only about 4 or 5 or But my point is there's no mid carders to get to throw out. Like
everyone's in there for a long time.
When you have all these star power, and I don't want to sound like because let's be honest, 92 Rumble's the best, right? Like, and that had incredible star power, but there's not because we don't have people because Triple H doesn't really always capture those moments well. How Jey Uso or LA Knight get eliminated might feel meaningless in the moment.
Yeah.
Where before it might felt more meaningful. Now those eliminations don't have as much impact.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great point. Yeah. I'm with you completely. Yeah.
It's not so much the star power or like less mid card. It's more that the eliminations with these guys that are over. Again, basically reiterating what I just said.
You're right. Yeah. I'm with you completely. Thank you for the super chat. I know we kind of pivoted it elsewhere, but we agree. Or at least we agree on one half and the other one was close. Caden Lee of the Dance, LNG, Young Gun says, fellas, I'm so pumped up for this show tomorrow. Fired up. Good stuff. Looking forward to it, Caden. We should have a lot of fun with a little competition for the gold members too. I hope you are well. Brother Jumanji Hunter has been a member for 5 months. Bob, what do I do with the like button? Also here for Bob's Observers Minute. Okay, so you got 2 things here, Bob, to handle. Oracle, I'm going to step away for a second. Can you set up the DIY Motor City deal? Catch everyone on what's going on there once Bobby's done. I'll be back in a minute, guys. All right. Go on, Bobby. Go for it.
Well, if you're enjoying the video and you have not done it so far, be sure to go ahead and smash that like button. If it's your first time, you're good to do it. If you've done it already, you can do it again. Just make sure you do it one more time. Odd numbers. Do this every week. Odd numbers. As far as the Observer, I do have a couple notes from this week. Dave is mad that AEW does too many post-match beatdowns and matches where everyone knows who's going to win on television. Fair. Dave doesn't buy the Triple H's induction was a surprise, but he thinks he should be in, but it's pretty lame to put yourself in. Fair. He also said many people told him that Jesse Ventura ruined the Braun Sheamus match on commentary because he wouldn't stop talking about the referee, which, I don't think so. He's a guy that can do that. It's just kind of what he's always done.
Yeah.
And Matt Riddle appears to be friends with the Hogans now. He was at Nick's wedding last weekend.
Shocking. Yeah.
Which, so that's what was up with the Observer today.
That video of Triple H getting inducted, where they go to his looks around like a fucking doofus, like he acts like.
I can't believe they showed it on TV. Come on, man.
So stupid. Speaking of, I shouldn't call it stupid, but maybe uninteresting, although it could be good. The 2 out of 3 falls match for what are these? The World Tag Titles or the WWE Tag Titles? Let me know here.
These are the WWE Tag Team titles.
Okay, thank you, Chris.
There we go.
WWE Tag Titles in a 2 out of 3 falls match. DIY defending them against the former champs, the Motor City Machine Guns, in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Chris, what are your thoughts on this build, this match? What do you think it's going to be like? Who's going to win? So on and so forth.
I thought the build's been decent. They're actually giving some attention to the tag division on SmackDown, so that's a good thing. Above all, I'm just really happy for the Motor City Machine Guns to be able to have a match of this caliber in a stadium like this. So that's the main thing for me. I thought they might win the titles back, but after seeing them pin Ciampa tonight, I think DIY is probably going to retain.
Yeah. Bobby?
Yeah, I'm kind of with Chris. The match itself, I think it'll be good. I'm a little worried that because it almost has to go after the Women's Rumble, assuming that leads off, because you're not going to put Kevin and Cody there, I don't think. I guess Kevin and Cody could lead off, but then even still, you'd have to have this after the Women's Rumble because you're not going to do Rumbles back to back. So no matter where it is, it pretty much has to go after the Women's Rumble. And that might make it suffer a little bit, but I think the in-ring will be good. I'm with Chris. I'd like to see the Motor City Machine Guns win again, but it's cool that they're wrestling in front of 65,000 people. They do kind of deserve that for spending the past 20 years in TNA. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, I thought they'd win. I think DIY winning tonight them beating DIY tonight is always kind of a tell. And then they have the DIY stuff with Tom and Jacob, so it seems like they're going to maybe go for the tag titles again at some point against those guys.
Jack, thoughts on the 2 out of 3 falls tag title match?
Same thing. Like, just happy for Sabin and Shelley getting this. Like, just to go out there and perform in front of 60 whatever thousand people. DIY is going to win, but just happy to see the Machine Guns get something like this, man. They've earned it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Oracle. Appreciate it. I think this match could honestly, mechanically, it's probably got a shot. I mean, it's the only real wrestling match because the other match is going to be,
True.
ladders, and how Kevin Owens is going to approach a ladder match. So mechanically, this could actually be positioned to succeed in the sense that what they do will feel very novel in this setting. The issue, I think, is the heat could be really, I mean, if they follow a Rumble, I didn't hear what you guys said, so I apologize I'm repeating it, but if they follow a Rumble, it could really struggle for heat because the reality is,
with the length of the show, it's going to be 20 minutes. This match will be 20 minutes. So
yeah, I mean, unless with 2 out of 3 falls, you kind of have to, unless you're doing like a Saturday night's main event type, but so, I think the match will be good. I don't think it will go beyond that because of the heat, but I mean, I'm happy for the Machine Guns. I'm sure all of you guys said the same, right? It's like the main conclusion. Good for the Guns, very much deserved, and I think it'll be a good match. Oracle, did you speak on it, mate, or go for it?
It'll be good. I'm very concerned about not so much the length, but the length combined with the crowd heat. I think could be a problem, particularly if it follows a Royal Rumble match, which I think it probably will. I think probably will, follow the Women's Rumble. That'd be my guess. But yeah, this match will be good. I'm with everybody else, so across the board, happy for the Guns. What, 60K or 50K or whatever it is in the building. So I mean,
I think it's over 60 now.
Yeah, 65 was the last thing I saw from WrestleTix. So
okay, so we're all big in DIY. I know I didn't mention it, but DIY going to win, right? Yeah. Okay. What do we think their Mania match is, boys? Any gut feeling? Are we going to get one of those ladder fatal 4-way?
It'll be some sort of multi-team, whether it's a ladder or just a fatal 4-way.
We might get a double fatal 4-way, one for the women, one for the men, maybe one on each night type deal, something like that.
Makes sense to me. For Hard, who has been, got to be the league leader in Grinner supporters, has sent a super chat away, no comment. We appreciate him very, very much. You're paying for Jack Crosby's new mansion. He definitely gets a lot of this Grin money. And
I still
thank you very much.
The paycheck.
Well, it's to keep you honest, Jack. Like EC Dub style. This is important. You're so big time now. You're golfing
out here begging for more money. Why can't you?
Every time I come on a show, or when we're about to come on a show, Joe gives me the Paul Heyman speech. This is why you come to the dance. And I'm like, I've been doing this dance for 4 fucking years.
Anyone that's regularly golfing does not need late night Grin money. You're fine. For our friend Plethora said a super chat and said 1 versus all with a finger up higher. He's got Big Rome this weekend. We'll see who is agreeing with him here shortly. Appreciate your support, brother. I hope everyone is well tonight, enjoying the show. All right, let's talk the aforementioned ladder match. A bit of a Kevin Owens specialty, right? The ladder match, and this is the ring match coming off Saturday night's main event, which was an interesting experience. I thought they had a good match that didn't go beyond good. There's factors for that. I think the finish was slightly underwhelming and they was hurried for time. They wrestled the wrong match, I think, also in terms of they had that bizarre section where like Owens sort of forgot that he was supposed to be working Cody's leg, and then Cody definitely forgot he was supposed to be selling that leg. Strange match, slightly uneven. This obviously is a very different scenario. They're going to have a lot more time and they have many ladders to play with. They've had 6 weeks to add on top of the build. From my vantage point, the results of that have been somewhat mixed because it does feel like inevitably there is a sort of instinctive feel that the Cody's going to Mania now. I think Kevin winning the belt to me felt more likely at Saturday night's main event because there was a chance he could drop it back. Yeah, I agree. He should have done that. Because he didn't. I find this to be less enticing, even though I think it'll be very good. So that's where I'm at. Jackie, where do you stand on this one, mate?
The only thing I'm looking forward to here, because like we all agree Cody's going to win. Anyone object?
Doesn't.
I think they're going to let Kevin and Cody do the ladder war spot as long as they promise to be careful. The famous one with Kevin and El Generico. They're going to let them do that spot, the package pile driver on the ladder.
My God.
Since we know Cody's going to win, that's my prediction for this match. They're going to let Kevin do it.
And the out there would be, I think the finish is that once he does that, he's about to win the title when Randy Orton returns and hits an RKO, and then you can reset. I think that's what's happening here. I think Randy's been gone for a while, man. Like he's selling the pile driver for a minute now. So I think Orton returns here. That's my gut feeling. I agree with you, Jack. I just can't see an Owens win here. I feel like it would have been at Saturday night's main event. Bob, where do you stand on this one?
Yeah, I'm with you guys. I mean, I guess if Owens does win, you could have Zayn win the Rumble and again do it one more time at Mania but for the title. But like, I don't think that's the biggest match you could do right now. You know, obviously love those guys, but like, I think it does make more sense. Yeah, what you guys said, like Cody's down and out, Randy comes back because Randy doesn't need to be in the Rumble. Like he can come back in the Rumble, but there's so much star power in it already. He'd almost just be kind of like another guy there. He makes more sense to come back here and then maybe face Kevin at WrestleMania. Maybe that's what Kevin's doing.
Yeah, the Kevin thing is interesting because they have been hinting very heavily at this Sami Zayn business.
Mm-hmm.
Which is, Sami Zayn has been very central, very integral to the Royal Rumble build. And so there are some people talking themselves into it. Sami wins the Rumble, Kevin wins the title. Away we go. I just can't see it. Chris, where do you stand on this one, boss?
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't say I was convinced, but I thought that that's the direction that they might go. I'm less convinced of that now. I don't think we're getting Orton in this match. I think if we do get anyone, it will be Sami because they did that promo on Raw a couple weeks ago where Kevin's like, "Hey, you help me, I'll help you," blah blah blah. So, and I don't know if that would be Sami coming out and like, trying to help Cody and missing like he has been, or missing and hitting Kevin. Like I don't know what that would look like because I don't necessarily think you're going to turn Sami heel.
Right.
But yeah, I think if there's any extra people in this match, it's going to be Sami. And my only pushback, Jack, on the package pile driver spot is, I mean, unless you can somehow convince people that because it's on a ladder, like his head pokes through the rungs or something, but like that's a move that stretchered him out like a month ago. So to then have him turn around and climb a ladder and retrieve a belt after taking one of those on a ladder would be kind of inconsistent. I'll just say that, but
no, you're right. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah,
this is the same Cody Rhodes that had his arm broken by Penta and then rolled him up.
That's true.
Well, let's not forget that.
That's true. Good point. Yeah, but yeah, Cody's gonna win, and yeah,
match should be really good.
Yeah.
Chris, so you think Kevin and Sami is the Mania match? Like not for the belt, but just like that's their match. What do you think?
No.
Okay. So this is the thing, right? It's timings now. Like
I think there might be a 6-man with the alliance to end the bloodline of Kevin, Drew, and maybe Seth, and against Sami and the Usos.
That's interesting. I hadn't considered that. Oh, but those people are.
I like it.
Yeah, they got to get people on there, brother. I mean, Drew. Yeah. That's interesting because they are all kind of bunched together in terms of character development. All right, that's intriguing. So I keep in mind, especially on a show where they got some main eventers who have a natural destination. That's intriguing. All right, Oracle, what you got, mate? Who are you thinking?
I think that this match will be quite good. I think that they will go all out here. Let's hope everybody stays healthy. Because it is a lot of matches, and these two guys are kind of crazy. I believe Cody Rhodes will retain, and I am sticking with the Randy Orton RKO to shut up Randy and Kevin. I'm going to stick with that for now. Though I do think the Sammy stuff has been played up enough to where that's a possibility. I will say this, and people get mad at me. If I never saw Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens interact again, I wouldn't be upset. That's all I'm going to say.
I think I get where you're coming from. I agree with Oracle, but at the same time, I do think that their history deserves a one-on-one WrestleMania match. So I would like to see that, but I do get where you're coming from, or like I agree with that in that they
like it deserves a better one than the one they got for sure.
Like us indie wrestling dorks. Like we were all about, they better, mention their history. They better put them together because of their history, and they have overdone it. I get it, but they deserve like a big.
Right, because as Chris mentioned, their Mania match was the Logan Paul at ringside, and it was like an undercard match, right?
Yeah, and it was like half the stadium.
Yeah.
Part of my issue with it is I also think the other scenarios that are at play are far more interesting for me personally.
Interesting, really. Meaning what specifically? Just I'm interested. Go over it.
I think they've done a year-long build with Randy and Kevin, and I'd rather see that.
Yeah.
See that kind of finished off.
I don't think you're alone at all. Yeah. I think if you were to ask the fans who are in this building, I think your take would be pretty common, actually. Randy's
I don't want to
big deal, dude.
I don't want to drag this out too much, but then
go for it.
If this happens, it's great. But then how long do we drag out the Randy Cody stuff?
I'm surprised they haven't done that yet.
Yeah,
because we've done the whole staring at the belt and looking behind his shoulder. Like, how long because if Randy comes back tomorrow, helps Cody, like that is great in theory. Then Cody's gonna have a WrestleMania match. So that's another 2 months. Like, what do we do there?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the challenging thing with it, and I think the reason they've been hesitant, is that Randy is so over.
Yeah.
I think they feel like there's still juice left to squeeze in terms of him as a babyface.
I can't blame him. Yeah, I can't blame him. Because
it is... There definitely is an element of, like, it's such a natural direction. You kind of have to get to it sooner than later, I think. But it's interesting. I don't know. SummerSlam, I guess, would be my gut feeling, which again is another 7 months away.
Yeah, but
well, what's funny is remember, I don't know if any of us here, probably one of us, but a bunch of people were predicting that for the SummerSlam match last year.
Yep, we all did. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, okay. All right, so we all got Cody winning. We all assume the match will be a hell of a spectacle, right? Certainly. Owens, I'm sure, will swing for the fences as per usual. All right, let's dive in to our main event, folks. I apologize for this. I know this show may seem like we're hurrying slightly. There's it's not really. I'm not really in not really in the space to extending beyond we already have, to be honest with you. So I apologize. I want to let lads get their takes out, and I want to complete the show. And I want to give you guys a good show. So I do apologize if you feel shortchanged by the end of this. We're trying our best here. Most I'm trying my best. The lads are doing a great job. They don't need to feed that I am trying my best. Okay, let's talk about the men's rumble. A complete contrast to women's rumble in terms of build, as we mentioned earlier, where that wonderful super chat that mentioned it is a very, very different experience in terms of the amount of winners, the amount of possibilities, the promo segments, the possible red herrings. Much to sink your teeth into. Bobby, what have you made of the build?
I think the build's ruled. Even just the Cody Punk stuff from this week and Cody KO or Punk KO stuff from tonight. But then you kind of factor in that there's just every show. It's just we talked about it with the build. Like the men's Royal Rumble's been the big focal point, even bigger than Cody and Kevin and all that stuff, and like been 2 or 3 long segments per show dedicated to it. Star power wise, Oracle, I know read a little bit of the field earlier, but you look at the field, it's kind of insane. I think they've done a great job with it. I just you wish they could do it with both, but I'm glad they at least have knocked it out of the park with one.
Yeah. definitely what's really fun isn't just potential winners in terms of big stars. It's also, they've set up matches for those potential winners, right? They've hinted at matches, like we talked about Sammy. So I agree with you. There's a lot here, a lot to sink your teeth into. Definitely, Oracle. What have you made of the men's Rumble build, brother?
It's been quite good. They've teased I don't know, about 17 or 18 Mania possibilities out of the build, what you're supposed to do, really. When you build a WrestleMania and build a Rumble match. I mean, they've got all kinds of people that they've. I mean, I'm just looking at the list here, and I'll let everybody give their thoughts on the build before I run it down. But I mean, there's all sorts of interesting scenarios, and the Cody Punk promo on Raw, the Drew confrontation with Heyman. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, these guys are confronting Cody left and right, Gunther left and right. They're doing, getting each other's faces. They had the Jacob Fatu, Damian Priest thing tonight. Just, all sorts of build all across the board. And pretty much everybody that's been announced has, other than maybe, 2 or 3 names, has been involved in an interesting segment or two. In order to build to this match. So it's been quite good.
Definitely one of their better Rumble builds in some time, right? Certainly, yeah. Chris, I think you're on board, right? You agree this has been the highlight of this last kind of stretch of WWE TV, right?
Oh, yes. It's been fantastic. I love that there's, multiple possibilities. Because it feels like for the longest time, it's just been like you get to this point and you're like, okay, it's either this person or it's this person. Like, or sometimes you don't even have 2 options. It's like, it's definitely this person, but there's, I would say, probably 3 or 4 like real possibilities, but I would say there's probably another 6 to 8 of like, I wouldn't say that's out of the realm of possibility, so there's a lot of options here, and I think that's great.
There is indeed. Jack, what have you made of the build thus far, and all the things we've been talking about here, the potential winners, so on and so forth. Jack,
they have made this the most exciting men's Rumble in a long time. A long time. I've even been I've been talking myself into that conspiracy theory floating around that Rock is going to come in at 31.
The 31 with Dwayne Johnson.
Boss, I can do whatever the fuck I want. I'm 31. 30, and he comes in with which is huge. Awesome.
Yeah, I'd pop huge. That'd be incredible. Imagine the announcers selling for that as the clock comes up again. Yeah, that'd be fun. But the thing that's good is like the star power is crazy, but they haven't just rested on that, right? They've actually done the work and built the angles and the possibilities, and it's good stuff. Definitely, it's been very, very well done, and obviously that culminated, I guess, tonight. But the big story this week in terms of the Rumble build was the Cody Punk segment, which definitely swayed some predictions. But in fear of spoiling things, Jack, we texted a bit. Your take was immediately like, this needs to be the match.
They
have your immediate feel. Yeah.
Like, okay. I even if that was a smoke screen, it's like, well, you fucked yourselves because you have to do this right now.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's kind of the elephant in the room here as we're about to get to some predictions. So first, what we'll do as we did last time, we'll kind of work our way through this step by step. We'll start with the Iron Man, which I think because of the way the roster is built is actually more challenging here, personally.
Hold on just one second.
Yes?
I'll hijack this, and I will say that the Iron Man should be Omos coming in with his fucking hair jacket and Zubaz pants, fist taped, throwing everyone out of that.
And he wins. He wins too. 1-30.
Omos just wins and goes Noah forever and walks away.
There you go. Beautiful. Great. KG Muto in the crowd. Beautiful. Oracle, what was you going to say, bro?
I was just going to go ahead and read off these names real quick so we can help us get these Iron Man predictions and whatnot.
Go on, mate.
So 18 names so far are LA Knight, John Cena, CM Punk, Jey Uso, Roman Reigns, Seth freaking Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Rey Mysterio, Sami Zayn, Shinsuke Nakamura, Logan Paul, Penta, Chad Gable, Braun Breaker, Carmelo Hayes, Damian Priest, Santos Escobar, Jacob Fatu.
Big Santos got in there. Respect. Okay, so question, because I genuinely can't recall.
Sorry, Joe. I remember people saying that Santos was going to be the next big fucking thing, and now he really was the outlier in that list. Him and Carmelo, like the two
more
guys.
More so than Carmelo, yeah.
I got gassed up on Twitter. Like I don't watch NXT they got gassed up so much. And they were the two where I was like, wait, get out of here.
Well, they kept him down there way too long, though, too.
Melo's a way better. I mean, he's been much better as of late than Santos Escobar, who has been like alarmingly flat. Bob, I know you're a big fan. What do you make of the Santos Escobar form coming into 2025?
Yeah, he's been bad. Again, I think they did keep him down there for too long, but he just.
I love Bobby's lighting. Looks like a Valentine's Day special. Bobby's lighting right now. It's wonderful.
But you know what sucks about that though? Dude has one of the best entrance themes in the company, and
he's handsome as fuck too. He's so good looking.
In a company where the entrance music sucks so bad, whatever. Escobar's is awesome. It's one of the best. I would put it top 5.
He's pretty cool, man. It's a shame about his matches, really, but he has Chad Gable ever been the Iron Man in a Rumble? He has to have been, right?
Ooh, that's a good pick, Joe.
Yeah. Because he didn't give Gable something, dude.
I was just gonna say, like, we made this big deal about his free agency and him re-signing, and then it's been a pile of shit, but maybe, it's okay, well, here's what we'll do. You could have a good showing in the Rumble.
Right, and he'll make everyone else look good, right? Yeah, he'll make everyone else look good. That would make I'm gonna go with Chad Gable for the Iron Man. Chris, who you think?
I am going to agree with you.
There you go. Jack and I are locked in. Chad Gable, Chris, who you got for the Iron Man in the men's Rumble?
No one's gonna like this. Logan Paul.
Yeah, I think you actually have the correct pick. I'm sorry to say.
I like it.
I'm less keen, but whatever. I think Chris is actually right. I think that's totally what this will be. There'll be a YouTube video on like Tuesday morning. I lasted 58 minutes in the Royal Rumble, like a shocked face. All right, fair enough. Oracle, the Iron Man. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with Sami Zayn.
Fair pick. Yeah, can't go wrong with Sami Zayn, brother. All right, I like it. Bobby, who you got?
You go with main event Jey Uso.
Didn't he do it last year?
I think he did, but listen, he's going to come in. He's going to be one of the first two so he can do his entrance, all right? And if he's probably going to be one of the first two, which I know he was one of the first two last year as well, but.
Jack booed and then did the year. He's caking too. I love it. Yeah, I think there's a chance.
Let's talk about how funny it is. I was watching the Raw. What was it, this Monday? Yeah. Where like Triple H really setting him out there to just kill time for 10 minutes.
Yeah, crazy, dude.
He was like, "Bro, just go out there and dance."
Yeah, and the crowd loves it. It's fucking. Imagine telling someone this would be where we're at like 5 years ago. Imagine explaining this. Like, Jey Uso, man.
Jey Uso could be one of the biggest stars in the company, but he's just gonna go out there and dance.
Yeah. Well, I think this could happen, to be fair to Bob. I think Penta and Jay could be 1 and 2 for sure.
Jay comes out and then Penta comes out and does his thing on the aisle,
Yeah, his little walk.
With his fire or whatever.
Okay, so you got
there and they're gonna be literally for 2-3 minutes. They're gonna do the.
I really don't think WWE has even scratched the surface of what they can do with Penta.
Yeah, he's gonna blow up, dude.
Fucking insane.
Yeah. I hope it does continue the way it started for him. I do hope.
I really, and especially when you heard, like, aside from the Triple H Hall of Fame thing, that town hall where Nick Khan literally told the whole company, like, this is the dude that we're.
I wonder what his like Mania thing will be. I wonder what he'll do at Mania.
And the thing is, they've done a really good. Like, that dude is going to explode.
I agree. Yeah, he's just so marketable, man. He's so like. So I'm intrigued by
underrated politicker too.
Oh yeah. I'm intrigued by where he's slotted at Mania because I think he's going to be in like a multi-man thing. If he gets a singles match at Mania, that will tell you a lot about how like they see him, right? Because that's not. Let's be honest, there's very few slots. So yeah, that should be something to kind of monitor. I think with Penta, I do think he's, regardless of where he's the Iron Man or not, we all agree Penta's going to get a really positive show in here, right? He's going to get a very flattering presentation.
Oh, he's in my Final Four.
There you go. Right. Well, with that in mind, let's talk Final Fours. So Jackie, you got Penta. Who else is in that Final Four for you, mate?
Penta. John Cena, CM Punk, Penta, John Cena, CM Punk, and Omos. No, I'm kidding.
Keiji Mutai.
Wow, the fourth guy.
Oh my God. Jackie Karrion Cross. Uncle Howdy.
Oh God.
It's gotta be Big Rome, right? Who is your
Who
you got so far? You got
no, I was actually I was having a brain fart thinking of big names. Roman. So Roman. John Cena, CM Punk, Penta, Roman.
Okay, Roman. Okay, beautiful. All right. Okay. Oracle, your Final Four.
Roman, Punk, Seth, Cena. I agree with Jake.
I got Seth.
Put that on there too.
I got Seth. I got Punk. I got Jacob. I got Roman.
Jacob?
Yeah, that's what I got. I quite like him, you know. Quite good. Chris Bordine.
Oh, shit.
Your Final Four. Jack, hang on a second, Jack.
Fuck it, Jake. I want to take Roman out of my... Jacob eliminates Roman.
There you go. Yeah, because if that's the main...
I want Jacob. So, all right, everybody. Here's my official. Cena, Punk, Penta, and Jacob. God damn it.
Beautiful. Chris, what's your Final Four looking like?
Cena, Punk, Roman, and, again, Logan Paul.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
the Final Four.
That could totally happen. I love it. That could totally happen.
So, I got a text from Blue Tick Matt, who's not Blue Tick Matt anymore, after he watched Raw this week, and he said, "I would pay a lot of money to watch Gunther chop the shit out of Logan Paul. I hate how good he is at this."
Yeah. Look, man. It's in play. I saw the reaction on Monday. It is what it is.
Logan Paul is very, 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 very fucking good at this. And I know it makes people mad, and it was so fast. He's so good at this.
Yeah. I got... Okay, I'll circle back on that because I don't want to give Bob a chance to. We'll do like Mania prediction and stuff. Bobby, your Final Four, mate. Go for
it. Cena, Punk, Roman, Seth.
Cena, Punk, Roman, and Seth. Okay, so to explain, I thought, because I didn't have Cena in mind, I think Cena's going to get like a shock elimination in the middle. I'm quite convinced of this. I think Cena's going to get a shock elimination. The crowd's going to gasp the whole deal, and he's going to do the big sell. I think the whole story is going to be that he needs to like rebuild before the Chamber. I think that's what the story is going to be. I think it's too. We'll get to winners in a minute, but he hasn't been on TV. Like, there's so much story to tell. Like him just winning the Rumble, it doesn't make sense to me. But that's just me. Firstly, let's talk about most eliminations. I got Jacob Fatu on this one. I'm actually very confident on this. I got Jacob. Chris, who you got for most eliminations?
Yeah, I could see Jacob. Yeah, that's probably.
I'll just say I'm on Jacob too.
Yeah.
Yep.
He gets the diesel. He gets the diesel spot.
Yeah. Bobby, a big nod of the head.
Yeah, I think Jacob. I mean, I guess Braun Breaker has a chance, but like I think Jacob, just with where they're going, like Braun's kind of already established more, and Jacob's they're still kind of getting there.
Yeah.
See, I think this is Jacob's spot, and like I said on the solo stream with Joe, I think Braun Breaker ends John Cena's career.
Well, I think Braun may eliminate Cena in this match. To that point, so
yeah, I think in December Braun ends John's career.
I could definitely see it. Oracle, who you got for most eliminations, mate?
Jacob.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. So we have our final fours locked in. We have our Iron Man. We have most eliminations. Now it's time to talk about the winner. I've been very confident on this for a while. I'm sticking to my guns. While it may be a mistake, and almost certainly is in my view, I do not think plans have changed. I think Monday was a red herring. I want to stress again, that is not me saying it should be or is a smart. I just think that's what's happening here. I think Seth Rollins is winning the Rumble. I think he's going to throw CM Punk last, and I think he's going to face Gunther at WrestleMania. I am quite confident. That doesn't mean it will happen. I'm quite confident currently. Oracle, what about you?
I could go different and do all those things, but I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think.
Wow. Look at us.
I've thought about it, and
if Seth Rollins wins this Royal Rumble tomorrow, I'm going to protest in the streets.
Well, I just think that's going to be that's going to be his revenge on Punk, because I don't think Punk's ever going to put him over, so that'll be it. He'll just eliminate Punk and he'll get the Gunther match. I think. This is my feel. Intrigued, Oracle. Oracle, you've only recently come around to this idea, right? Yeah.
I feel it's there's been a lot of red herrings, and I've run through a lot of options, and this feels like that's the case. I think it's a terrible way to end the show, personally.
I'm never imagining you like
maybe he'll get a good reaction. I mean, he often does in fairness.
Yeah, I think he'll get a good reaction,
but it's just not,
Yeah. I honestly, I haven't got an issue with it. Him and Gunther's fine by me.
I mean, the Rumble doesn't really matter anymore anyway. So
right, because I think the card. I'll let everyone. I apologize, but I think the card should be Punk, Cody, Cena, Gunther, and then Roman and Jacob. But if they're doing what they're doing, then Seth as the Rumble winner doesn't really bother me because it's fine. Okay. So Oracle and I are locked in. By the way, Oracle, the idea of you with a pen and paper, just running through options, like doing like maths equations, we've got Sammy, no, and eventually you write at the bottom, Seth freaking Rollins, just kind of put your pen down. It is what it is.
Yeah.
All right, I get it. I'm with you. Chris, who you thinking wins the Rumble?
So let me start out by saying I would prefer if they didn't have both winners of the Rumbles be multiple time winners.
Yeah.
That's what's like.
But unless they do have EO win, which I mean, look, it sounds like it's Rhea Bianca and it sounds like it's Charlotte Tiffy. So either way, whether it's Bianca or Charlotte, both of them have won. So then you got the men, and it's I would say Punk, but I'm going to say Roman. And then I'm going to say that Punk's favor is to make it a triple threat at WrestleMania.
Wow. Because we haven't talked about the favor tonight. Probably when I hit a wow.
I was going to talk about the favor, but I think our guy Chris here, that makes sense.
Because
Punk wants his main event.
Yes. Yes.
Like Roman will be mad as hell about this, right? Like he'd be pretty mad. I guess that's the point. Okay, that's very interesting. Jackie, are you on board with this? What do you think?
I'm going with Chris.
My God,
I'm throwing it. I like that a lot because we've all been wondering what the favor is.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that makes sense. Roman wins.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'll say this. Roman being in it is like, I mean, he's absolutely got a chance of winning the thing, guys.
And
like,
Roman wins by throwing Punk over. Like, they're the final two. He fucking dumps Punk, and Punk, like, the next night on Raw is like, the favor, Paul.
So it's those two and Cody?
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. Yeah. Because you can because then you could have Cena win the Chamber and have him wrestle Gunther, which I think is, out of the two, I think that's the better way to go.
I agree.
Anyhow,
It is.
If you want to do the Cena Cody match at some point, which I get, because it's very much in the same vein as the, when you did, you had Hogan Rock, and then you did Rock Cena.
You have to.
Cody. So I get wanting to do that at WrestleMania. I just think doing a babyface match in the main event, I don't think it works. You're going to put one or both of those guys in a really tough spot with the crowd.
Yeah. I don't like that. I'm not sure I'm on board with your pick, but I think the Cody Cena thing is deeply flawed. Yeah.
And then if you have Cena wrestle Gunther, then that frees Seth up to do what I suggested earlier with the six man of the anti-bloodline guys against Sammy and the Usos.
Yeah, because a WrestleMania crowd on a John Cena farewell tour, Cody would get booed.
He would.
I think so. Yeah.
Building, man.
I also think it's like a weird, hard match to put together too. Physically, it's just a weird. Cena and Gunther's easy because Cena could just sell the whole time. It'd be easy.
Yeah.
Cody and him are going to do a moves match. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't. I've never got that. To be honest, Gunther's such a natural matchup. Okay, Bob. We've got two picks here that have been agreed upon. We've got two contrasting selections. What do you think?
Well, let me just start off by saying that Charlotte Flair and Seth Rollins winning the Royal Rumbles is aggressively bad, and that'd be terrible. They can't do that. I'm disappointed in you two for suggesting Seth in the first place, but I respect your right to do it.
Yes, I'm with Bob. What the fuck is wrong with you two? All right, I'm glad not a lot. I was trying to be polite. What the fuck is wrong with you two?
Look, bro, I'm just saying what I see. I think that's what they're doing here. And that's what they do. I think.
I don't like it. I never said I liked it.
Yeah. I think that's the end of the Punk thing. He eliminates Punk and gets his moment. He's been doing a lot of favors, dude. A lot of favors. I think Seth's winning.
He can get them back some other way. We'll figure it out.
Look, I ain't got a pencil. I'm just telling you that after watching the guy who has the pencil for many years, I think there's a good chance Seth Rollins is winning the Rumble. That's all I'm saying. Look, I think it goes without saying it's not really my preference. I mean, I'm not sitting here pleading with him, I'm just saying it's where I think things are trending. Bobby, give your pick, please, for attacking Oracle on the last pick.
Yes, sorry. I'm going with CM Punk. I think it's finally time. And
so you just to be clear, sorry, I'll let you, but you think it's Cody and Punk, correct?
I do, yes.
Okay, carry on what you're going to say.
Yeah, well, I think they're going to do Roman and Jacob. I think the Punk and Roman stuff might, work itself out at SummerSlam. That's going to be, the SummerSlam build's going to be interesting because it's a big 2-night thing this year now. So they're going to have big matches there too. I mean, and how the favor plays into that, I don't know for sure. But I don't know. And it's not even like Roman winning is a bad idea either. I mean, he's there. He's obviously a candidate, like you guys said, but just adding another, triple threat where Roman and Cody and Punk's going to be fun, but it's so divisive and will split people so hard. And I guess, that's kind of the point too, but I'm going.
I just don't see Roman and Jacob being WrestleMania.
Yeah.
That's
because Roman strikes me as at Mania, I do main events, brother. And that match certainly will not main event.
So I've seen other names suggested for Roman. This doesn't really change what you're saying, but I've seen Drew suggest and I've seen Seth suggested. Now that wouldn't really change your point, right? Which is
the one I saw was, and maybe this has changed, but the last one I saw for Roman was Punk.
Right. Yeah, which would be a main event, right?
That would be a main event.
My bad. So I was saying
this way, right.
Yeah. I get what you mean. The idea that Roman's going to show up and be an undercard match does feel unlikely, which is why we've reached a different conclusion. We're on the same line of thinking. I think that's why Roman and Punk is still the match, and Cody and Cena is still the match. Now, again, that's not my preference. I think that's a mistake. I think the matches we've heard are happening are what's happening. I think Cody and Punk segment was like a complete just red herring. That's much my guess. I think it makes a lot more sense, Bobby, but that's my personal read on the situation. Yeah. I mean, it's exciting to have such a range of options at our, fingertips. It's very
real quick, Joe, because a while ago, Mr. Big Dude had in the chat that talking about Cody getting cheered over Rock last year. That's because Rock came in and took something from Cody. It would be a completely different scenario if Cody's in the ring on a year-long title reign with John Cena and John Cena's last year trying to break the record.
He's lost here. Yeah, I think this.
That's a completely different scenario.
I think the crowd goes with Cena.
Yeah,
I really do.
Easy.
And again, I don't know what the fuck that match looks like, dude. I just like is Cody gonna work heel?
On this, they're gonna do it this year. They have to.
Yeah.
John's.
I would avoid it, dude. I really would. But...
Wait, in John Cena's final year, you would not have him wrestle Cody Rhodes at all.
I wouldn't, because I just think you're playing with fire, and the people are going to go. They're going to turn on Cody.
No, you have to do it at some point, Bubba. You gotta.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I'll say this then. I think we can agree on this. At the very least, I would do it after Cena gets a few matches under his belt and he's got some.
Yeah.
All right, yes, fair enough. Fair.
I don't know if they're running any big shows in Boston this year, but I would do it there because then you could kind of play off they're in Cena's hometown.
That's a good one. You can just wash it away.
Yep.
There's some really big stuff that I think Cena can really slot into naturally, like the Gunther match. I think the Gunther match could be great if Cena is completely washed, to be honest, just because of the atmosphere. I think Braun's an interesting one. I think Jacob is something that you definitely have to do, right? The kind of Umaga callback with that is very, very fun.
Yep.
So there's interesting matches. I straight up babyface match is a weird one for me, but
what's funny is that a lot of these matches we talk about, can John win any of them or should win any of them?
I think he could be
Brian Breaker, no. Jacob, no. Gunther, yeah.
Yeah.
I do agree. I know a lot of people when it's brought up that he faces Gunther at WrestleMania. Well, he can't beat Gunther. I was like, yeah, he can. And I think Gunther would be fine.
Yeah, it's not going to be his last title run. It's his first one.
Tell that one last story of Superman John Cena overcoming the big bad guy.
Yeah.
Gunther's the perfect person for that role.
And the reality is, to the broader audience, it's a rub for Gunther to even be in that match. That's a huge deal to be in that match, dude. So, I think that's I just think that's such a natural direction, man. I don't know. Oracle, I presume with your Sev pick, you're thinking the same I am, that the plans are going to be this. We heard, weeks and months ago.
Right? I think so. I do, and listen, I don't want Seth Rollins to win either. Obviously, if we think it's Roman Jacob, if we think it's Punk Cody, what does Seth Rollins do? And this isn't even Cena Gunther. Where does Seth Rollins go into the equation of WrestleMania?
Yeah, well, I guess some folks are saying that maybe Seth and Roman is the match rather than the aforementioned Roman suggestions. I guess Sammy, because the chat's saying the Sammy thing is a real thing.
They've had some build there. That's true. That could be the case. That could be the case. That's one that I can see. That's one that I can see a through line to.
That is being built, and if Sammy's not wrestling Kevin, that would make a lot of sense. Yeah. Maybe so. Maybe Seth and Sammy. Maybe that's the route here. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So that angle being there makes it very, very plausible. Actually, I'm glad you asked the question because I hadn't considered.
Well, I wanted to present. I wanted to open the floodgates a little bit, open the hope a little bit.
I'm rooting for.
Yeah.
Man, if you got that, and then Roman and Jake was on the other side, and I think Chris's points are valid. I'm just saying, with fantasy booking here, I think For me personally, that'd be much more. I think Sammy and Seth could be actually very, very good, very compelling, I should say. The match will be good, but I think the angle could be very interesting.
And yeah, I just to go back, I truly think that solo match was like the end of Roman dealing with that new bloodline, at least for the foreseeable future.
It's really good. It's tough to get a read on Roman because he's so seldom around, right? It's like, because to your point, correct me if I'm wrong, boys, he hasn't been on since then, right? So it's like, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know where he's going to be, what show he's going to be on. I don't know. You presume, I mean, so your kind of, your issues with or lack of belief in terms of the Jacob Roman match. I mean, they've got a lot of stuff to do there because Jacob hasn't even killed Solo yet. So, I don't know. I'm rooting for it to be a Punk Cody pivot because I think that's more interesting. I think the story they hinted at with this kind of the title being a poison chalice, I think is actually very compelling. So,
like in a wrestling company that we think we could run, which we don't, but like you would like to think that doing what you did with Punk and Cody on Monday was throwing it out there to feel things out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like when you see that reaction, you're like, okay, this is where we have to go. Like, remember we used to see those reports for years and years that Vince had WrestleMania penciled in by fucking September.
Yeah.
No matter what. But like you would like to think that Triple H and whomever else throws them out there on a Monday in January is like, let's see what happens here. And you look at that, you see the reaction, you're like, okay, all right, maybe this is what we have to do.
Yeah. Well, I think that is definitely the right play. Yeah.
We'll figure everything else out because like Joe, I texted you on Monday night after that promo. I was like, this is what they have to do.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes versus CM Punk.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where it's a different industry now, and that, you know, Mania, if we're being real, is going to do fine regardless. But to your point, the reaction to Monday's segment would suggest that should be considered, you know, like
I want to see that match like now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely.
And not Mania, like when is it going to be, right? So yeah.
Look, and as far as, you know, Punk winning they dropped like a 30-minute interview with him and Jackie Redmond on the WWE YouTube today. You know, obviously he was on McAfee today. He's, you know, I mean, he's been doing media stuff since he's been back, but he's been out in the forefront a lot this week. So it's
And could you imagine the visual? Remember Cody last year imagine Cody in a box in Lucas Oil tomorrow night, and Punk doing the same thing that Cody did last year on the fly, like he turns and points.
Yeah,
like took Cody in the box, like have be the turn, and like it's almost like the duality of Cody. Like Cody is the one sitting in the box now.
Yeah.
And Punk points at him.
Well, and you could drag it out too. You know, you don't have to have him declare right away.
Yeah. And the the angle with Cody and Punk being this like, who is the real piece of shit here is awesome too. Like, because Cody was very prickly in that segment on Monday, wasn't he? Very, very prickly.
I think there is a plan, preliminary or whatnot, to turn Cody heel finally.
Do you think?
Like, I think they don't want to make the same mistake they did with Cena. But the problem is going to be like finding the right time to do that.
Yeah, I don't think Punk's the right guy for him to turn on. I think Punk will turn on him more. You know?
Might not be, but I think that's why they look to people like Penta and other baby faces. They're like, can we get them to this level of like merchandise sales and everything where we can feel comfortable turning Cody?
Yeah. I got from Monday's segment, I got the sense that Punk was could very possibly turn if they was to wrestle, because Punk was almost, I'd say he was almost patronizing in that segment. The way that he kind of, yeah.
Don't forget, like the favor from Heyman could also be in the main event of WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I loved that it was a kind of a through line in the show, because you had both Cody and you had Sammy earlier, basically like, we've passed you, bro. Like,
Yeah.
You know, Sammy telling him, I've main evented WrestleMania, you know?
Yeah.
And Cody kind of did something similar in their segment at the end of the night. And I thought that was really like, okay. And, you know, it adds a new, instead of like, you know, because everyone's of course been bringing up, well, you've been gone for 10 years. Well, this is kind of the next evolution of that, of all these guys going like, you know, you're not the best in the world anymore. Like,
I just can't, I can't shake the feeling, no matter what. Like, we can go through all these fantasy bookings and stuff like that. I just can't shake the feeling that like Punk has proven himself to be such a company man that he's going to get his moment this year. Like, they're finally going to give it to him. Like, all right, like all that stuff like everything for the last 12 years happened. Like, you leaving, the AEW thing, and you're going to get what you have coming to you.
I just the more we talk about this, the more it feels like Punk should win this Rumble, I have to say.
He should. Yeah, I really think CM Punk should win the Rumble.
And imagine the favor isn't mentioned at all until fucking Paul Lee helps him win at WrestleMania. Could you imagine that? That was the favor all along. He had it in his back pocket that whole time. Imagine that reaction.
That's been in the back of my head. It's like, what if the favor is at WrestleMania?
Yeah. No, that would be cool too.
It's not referenced at all. Like, and then Paul Lee emerges, and that could be. And you could have, I mean, Cody chasing Punk.
If you ignore it this whole time from tomorrow until WrestleMania, and like something happens in the match, and Paulie walks out down the ramp, and you're like, "Oh shit, the favor."
Yeah, I think I'm sticking with my prediction because, like, if it happened now and I changed it, I feel like an asshole. But it does. The more we've discussed this, and the Seth Sammy thing was pretty revealing as someone who's not watching it closely. It immediately reminded me that's the thing they're kind of doing on TV.
Even if they do Seth Gunther, I'll spit it out eventually. I just don't think Seth winning the Rumble is something you go off the air with.
Yeah. This is hilarious because now I'm now fighting in the corner of Seth Rollins.
I think,
I'm going to get myself out of this corner.
I know people hate on Seth Rollins, but I think Seth is such a good storyteller. He is. I'll give him that too. I think Seth is good at telling stories where he could make the Gunther thing work between now and WrestleMania.
Oh, no, yeah. Let me be clear.
Easy.
If Gunther's Seth is the match, I mean, without knowing the rest of the card, obviously, I would put my money down right now that would be the best in-ring match of the entire weekend.
I was just going to say, easy. They would go on and put out a fucking show.
Feels like Punk should win, guys, I have to be honest. But I'm sticking to my guns because, again, if it happened, I would, well, at this point, I'm too deep in the ball game. All right.
You'd rather be right and sad than wrong and sad.
Yeah, exactly right. It's like, if Seth's going to win, I can then victory lap on that at least, right? In that way, I can't lose really for once. So I feel let's finally just talk any surprises, and we've got some business handle in the chat. Surprises for this match. I don't know what's kind of rumored or expected. With the women, there's been so much talk, right? Of like Becky's going to be there, and there's obviously AJ Lee, what you guys were aware of. So with the men, who are we?
Cardona.
I think Joe Hendry.
Yeah. Styles, I guess, if that really counts. Yeah. Like,
he's got to get cleared, apparently.
Yeah. Omos, I mean, he could be in it just because he's a big guy. And I don't think Braun's going to be in it, and they do need a big guy in it. So
Omos will be in it, yeah. Yeah, I think hopefully AJ can be in there. Trick's a good pick, yeah. Any legends? Is JBL showing up? What do you think?
That would rule.
Yeah.
Well, let's get
with the jacket and everything. Just
the Hardys.
Probably Matt. I think Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff.
Not Matt. I think Jeff.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, Aleister Black can't be in the Rumble. Apparently,
yeah.
I don't know that. That's what everyone's saying. I don't know. That's a handful, right there. I don't think we have more than what we just said, right? Bob, is this Find of the Year for Maven? What do you think?
I wish, man. It'd be great.
That was
callback that most people don't remember at this point because it was 23 years ago or whatever. Yeah,
he could drop kick Dame Priest out of the ring.
Yeah, there you go.
Here's my question, seriously, because I don't think it's a secret. Triple H doesn't like Matt Cardona, but I think he's willing to do business. Is he going to let Matt use the Always Ready music, or is he going to make him use the fucking Zack Ryder music?
I think he'll get Always Ready. But are we saying Cardona is a one-off, or are we saying he's like back? What do we think?
One-off.
One-off, right?
Probably one-off.
I really buy into that theory that Triple H wants nothing to do with him.
Yeah, I mean, well, the evidence is the evidence. Yeah.
We want your wife, not you.
For the purpose of his show and the Rumble, and he'll agree to this, but I don't think he's going to sign him.
I also think there's an element of like, fine, let's just give Cardona his thing here, and move on best we can. I don't know, but I will pop for Cardona. I think it'd be very cool.
Nick Nemeth,
give himself in there.
No,
Nick Nemeth's possible, but I don't think so. I actually think he would say. I actually think he'd say no, because I think he feels like he's. I saw he was interviewing him, and he was asked about it. He goes, "People are asking about me going back to do guest spots. I was there for 20 years." He also could be working.
Why in the world?
He's got an NXT tag team title shot next week.
He does.
Dude, that match might be really good, man. It might be really good. Yeah. So we shall see. Go on, Jack.
There might be another one. Maybe not Axiom, but what about Frazier?
Yeah, I think he'd be in there for sure. Yeah, definitely. I think NXT, anyone's on the table from NXT, I think, right?
Yes. I've noticed that Nathan Frazier has been eating his chicken and rice.
He's pretty jacked, huh?
I've seen some pictures. He's been eating his chicken and rice and lifting some weights.
Of course. Protein. He Jack, I have one last question for you. This is the big one.
Yeah.
Is the big LG Doc Gallows in this thing, brother?
No. No, it's not.
Fair answer. All right. Let's look at the chat here. Yes, mate.
You asked me, will the big LG get paid on Friday? Will he get his paycheck, his direct deposit? Yes, he will. That's all that.
Fair. Very fair. That's all that matters. You're right. Final boss super chat says Punk failed last year. I think this is the year. The lads talked me into it, but I'm not changing my pick. You okay, Oracle? Yeah, fair. I didn't know where he was at. You're on the road, you know, on a WWF bus. There he is, the Oracle of Wrestling. Okay, I'm not changing my pick. But yeah.
Basically, some interesting things are going on outside my apartment, and there were some knocks at the door, and I wasn't entirely comfortable answering the door, so I went and hid.
Fair. Respect and return to your wrestling podcast.
Seems bad, but I don't know how to react. So.
All right, well, we'll do wrestling podcasting. Hopefully that will work itself out. Grant has been a member for 5 months. It says, after Monday, I want Punk to win and Cody Punk to be the Mania direction, unless, quote, there's funny rock taunt from Bad Bloods, the reference to the counting, the fingers. Remember that when he was counting down the fingers? It was very exciting. Yes, I mean, I don't expect Dwayne. I'll pop huge, but currently it looks like the Bad Blood cameo will go down as one of the funniest things ever. Amazing.
Only topped by his appearance on the Netflix premiere.
That was
just torpedo everything.
Yeah. Oracle, you're more than welcome to excuse yourself if you need to, mate. Have a good night. Okay, the final boss. It's been a challenging night, everyone. The final boss has been a member for a month and says, I only realized this week how much Punk has to win, not John Cena or anyone else. Bobby, pump of the fist there, brother. You're liking the support you're getting here.
I am. I was the only person to pick Punk, which I did not expect. For what it's worth, Dave thinks that Cena's winning the Chamber. It's probably not worth much because, it's Dave in 2025, but that's the word.
Oh my God. Put himself over and buried Dave, Jack. The game's changing here. Bobby's getting pretty aggressive these days. All right.
I believe I saw that the betting odds for the Rumble were Charlotte and Cena were the favorites.
Yeah.
They were.
Yeah, Cena's been the favorite for some time. I don't know, man. There's so much story to tell there, It's like him just winning. It's like, well, then what?
Like I said before, John Cena should win a world title on this run.
Yeah.
He should win it. But it shouldn't be as easy as winning the Rumble. And you got to break it. Like you said, Joe, break him down.
Yeah.
Have him one final time, have John Cena just build himself back up. And when he fucking wins it, wherever that is, it's going to explode.
Yeah. Absolutely, I agree. Thank you, the final boss. Hope you enjoyed your first month of LNG Gold. Jake has been a member for 5 months. We very much appreciate it. He says if it's Punk Cody, I think the Punk favorite is that Paul Lee corners him in the main event. It's something we kind of spoke on after he'd sent this. He says, I don't think it's out of the question he turns heel and wins. You'd have Cody, Roman, Seth all chasing. Yeah, I mean, as heel champion, there's obviously a lot of juice there in terms of Punk. With Paul Lee, it's a little bit of a flashback. I think the only thing that stands in Punk's way to be the champion, because if we're being honest, in terms of his popularity right now, you can't really argue with what he's done since coming back, right? Punk feels as hot as ever.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the only concern would be, do they trust his body to be the world champion? Now, we have to know, being the world champion now is very different to where he used to be. Very different.
Yeah.
And you could absolutely easily get away with him not wrestling many matches as world champion. It isn't the same as it used
And I
to
think that company is so stocked with talent where if he does get hurt, it's an easy fix.
Yeah. And ultimately, I'm never a fan of booking based on concerns a guy is going to get hurt. You know, I think you got to do what you got to do and adjust to when it happens. I don't think you can, because a lot of this stuff, you know, let's be honest, a lot of this stuff's fucking freak accidents too, right? So I think you just got to do your thing. Thank you, Jake. Okay, Riley sent a super chat. He said, idea Punk wins the Rumble, doesn't declare for who. Cena wins the Chamber. Looks like Cody versus Cena. Punk declares for, I assume.
Yeah, he meant Cody. He clarified.
Cody.
Yeah.
Punk heel, Cena versus Gunny. So they almost tease the direction that's been out there, only for Punk to steal it, and then you have him and Cena down the line, right? So
yeah, I like that.
Punk heel in the situation. That's interesting. Okay, thank you, Riley. And the final boss followed up with Punk's done all the build up. He's done all the media. He failed last year. I just think this is his year. He can't be runner up again. Bobby, you and final boss are in one. You know, you're aligned on this, man. You're like Cash and Dax. You're all in.
Yeah. Hell yeah, that's right.
Thank you, the final boss. Very much appreciated. Okay.
Bobby's going to look like me a few Saturday nights ago when Punk doesn't win. It's going to be very sad.
We may need a cameo on the Grin Along, Bobby, afterwards, just your live Raw reaction.
That's fine.
All right. Beautiful. Folks, we're going to do some plugs getting out of here. We appreciate you all. Keep in touch with the Oracle of Wrestling to make sure everything is okay. Hopefully it is. And we'll keep everyone updated, I guess. But Jack Crosby, is there anything you'd like to plug, mate? Any major streaming service and such you'd like to put over?
Subscribe to Paramount Plus.
There you go. We do not have a sign-up code. We'll never have a sign-up code, but it's funny to think of it. Just the idea of, like, you know, all these major brand deals, and also there's an LNG one. It's sad to work towards. Bob, is there anything you'd like to plug?
I don't think so. I don't know when I'm going to be here again. I'll be here for the flagship in 2 weeks when we do your bracket. But other than that, I don't have anything booked at the moment. So I'll show up eventually, though.
We are watching it looks like watching No Way Out 04. So you're more than
I might come on for that.
Yeah. All right, we'll let it play out. Chris, what would you like to plug, brother?
Chris's bass covers on YouTube. New one dropped this afternoon. I Drink Alone by George Thorogood and the Destroyers. As I said, I crossed the 40 threshold later this year, so all my covers I will be posting this year are all from the year 1985. So
beautiful.
Got some good ones coming up in February, and yeah. So
long-term plans, bro. Long-term plans. Folks, as I say, the channel is linked on our channel at the bottom there. There's a section with all of our many friends in their home territories and such. So go check that out and support Chris. I'll be back tomorrow for Gold members with the Royal Rumble Grin Along. We have a little competition for those of you. It's now closed because, you know, we didn't plan this particularly well, but we tried our best. 60 folks have got numbers. There'll be 2 winners tomorrow. You'll win a T-shirt. An LNG T-shirt, not any T-shirt. Bob's not going to sort of just pull an FTR one out of his cupboard and send it your way. It'll be an LNG T-shirt, maybe even a new one.
So question on that, Joe.
Yes.
Am I, because I didn't see, but I want to, for the people, want to ask clarification. So is 1 through 30 for the first Rumble of the evening and 31 through 60?
Yes. And the reason this popped me was, even though we're all pretty much assuming which way the Rumbles will be, the idea that like it could flip on the idea that maybe it just opens with CM Punk's music and suddenly the whole thing is fucking reversed, that popped me. But yes, you're absolutely correct. So it's literally just entrance in order of when they make their entrance throughout the night. So 30 ends, pick up from 31. But I'm glad you asked because that's very, very much relevant. Also, for anyone who's a Grin of Gold member, your names are represented on the screen right now. In future, when we do stuff like this, I'm going to give you guys first dibs because I think it's only fair. I did not have the time for such planning for this because I announced this, I believe, 22 hours before the Royal Rumble was going to start. So, we're still finding a way here, folks. But for those of you who have numbers, hopefully you have fun playing along. Sunday night, No Way Out 2004 Grin Along. All of this available if you hit the link below and sign up as an LNG Gold member. And then next week, we'll have a big business going on. LNG 50 next Friday. Lots to talk about. Rice Man and I've been working on the graphics. Well, he's been working on the graphics and I've been looking at them. So that should be very fun next week. Okay, folks, please, for the last time, Bobby, I'll ask you, what should people do to the like button, mate?
Yeah, so again, you're going to want to smash the like button. This is an even number. We only did it twice tonight. So, if you need to do it twice again to get to an odd number, just do it. Just make sure when you leave, it's liked.
Yes, indeed. Comment down below if you want to. Again, folks, I apologize for not being especially present. This is part of doing a weekly show. Sometimes the timing is not ideal, but hopefully we still entertained you tonight. Hopefully we gave you some interesting wrestling conversation. I want to thank the lads for keeping things on track along the way. Very much appreciated, as always. But most importantly, keep grinning. All hail and enjoy this outro, folks. Have a great night, a great weekend. Speak soon. Bye.